unsurpassed, profound and wonderful Dharma is difficult to encounter in hundreds of millions of aeons. I now see and hear it, receive and uphold it, and I vow to fathom the Tathagata's true meaning.
Good morning, class. Okay, today the topic is on view and concept. Since this is the final class for this days, we just do a simple revision of what we actually had for the entire days. And in fact, second days is talking more on tolerance, right? Just a little revision of the entire 5 PAT until today. Part 1, we're talking about the culprit. There was remember the grey disc? This with 7 classes. That one is the culprit, whereby we started off by inviting everybody to walk inward, to look into ourselves. Basically, the conclusion of this culprit is that whatever happened to us, we deserve 100%. Okay, so this is the disc that start off everybody in 5 PAT. Because if we don't walk inward, we are not the disciple of the Buddha. Because if you don't see inward, we can never improve ourselves, and there is no change at all. We're still waiting for external help or external changes, which is actually not the case in Buddhism, especially whatever is preached by the Buddha. Because all is mind. Everything is because of how we see things. Okay? So this part 1 we've done already, and then we come to part 2, which is tolerance. Tolerance, we talk about when situations, challenges that arises in life, usually we suffer. That's why we need to tolerate. So, under tolerance, there are altogether 11 chapters. This is what we did last year and this year. Because of the timing, I only speak about Dharma second half of the year. So, I took 2 years to complete the tolerance this. So, next year we will go into Virya, which is effort. And then the following year, we go into Dreams&Bubbles. Okay? So this one, we slowly So tolerance. Under tolerance, we actually had all this mind. Remember the 2 classes? Under all this mind, we talk about, scientists already said, nothing is real until and unless by the virtue of a force, we focus on something, that thing becomes real. That's why everything comes up from our mind. Because when you go deeper and deeper into the Sutra, you realize everything is not real. The Buddha already said. The Buddha said in Lankavatara Sutta that we are merely cartoons only, even in Lankavatara Sutta, including the city, city and the town, they are mere cartoons. Okay, in Lankavatara. But of course, we don't go so far first. We start off by having this concept first that not everything is real. At least we don't harp on something, we don't hold on to something so hard. Don't be so silly. Don't grasp something so hard. We are just not real. Okay? So this is a starting concept. So by virtue of a force, things become very real under the uncertainty principle spoken by the scientists as well. If you are interested, you go into the double slit experiment. It tells you everything. This is not observational. This is proven. With thousands of experiments, none of them fail. This one is proven that everything is not real until and unless you exert a pressure on it. Then it becomes real. Okay? And the observer himself, like every one of us, actually create our own reality. We create one. Because outside everything is empty. Empty means what? Sunyata. Means up to you to see how you want to see things. This is called emptiness. It can be like that or it can be like that. That's why you see a child. If a child very ill-treated by parents, how come some came up to be very terrible person or very hurt person or very nasty person? Another one, say for example, about the same bad background, came out to be very powerful, very strong person and very successful. Actually, both also from very broken family. How come 2 different outcome? It was all because of sunyata. We allow every one of us how we see things. because this is allowable by the samsara, because everything is sunyata. Sunyata is like internet in the computer world. It's a platform, all software are built on it. So it is like sunyata is everything we build onto it is sunyata, including your wife, your children, your husband. All these are how you create one. How you want to see your husband, you create one. You know?
Good.
Yes, you're right. You think bad is bad. See how you want to see things.
How you want to be your life, how
Exactly.
like you say broken family.
Yes.
You want to live what our life without
Yes.
machine. Lastly, it can be good because I
Correct.
want to follow my father's step.
Exactly. Yeah, it's up to you to see things. That's how you break away from the karma and rebirth. You know, the cycle of karma and rebirth. If we follow, we are always trapped inside this cycle. Parents like that, children like that, then the grandchildren like that, then after rebirth, then again. Remember that this one, this is no awakening. That's why we suffer. That's why the Buddha really pity us, you see. But if we woke up from the whole thing, we realize the game doesn't play this way. We have a smarter way to play the game. That is the power of Buddhism, the power of Dharma. The Dharma tells us, hey, we have a choice, you know. And this choice is all within us. We don't have to wait for my husband to change, my wife to change, my parents to change. No need. See how we see things only. So because everything is allowable because of sunyata, because of this concept breaking, right? So we will come into this later, okay? We'll come to this. So today is more of like giving you the awareness of what is concept breaking, because this topic can be very, very deep and profound. When we come to Diamond Sutra, you will know, right? But today, we don't scare everybody off. You just understand, we get the concept of it first. So finally, with all this mind, we talk about mind is the matrix of all matters. Matrix. We create. Then only we realize how powerful we can or how evilic we can. Up to you. You can be super evil or super powerful. Again, this is sunyata. Sunyata, the potential is infinite. Infinite potentiality. Okay? So after this, all this mind, we address our 4 emotions. We talk about goodbye fear, whereby we know that because of karma, if it has to come, that means it's already fated inside our 8 consciousness. Wherever you go, it will just happen. You cannot avoid. But if it's not inside the 8 consciousness, whatever you do, you also cannot get. You know, it can be both good and bad. Even you become very rich in life, if it's not fated inside the 8 consciousness, whatever you do, whoever you know, you just cannot get it because it's not inside. But if it's inside, you stay at home also, the money will flow into you. So this one is actually the real meaning of how karma works. Okay? So like a lot of people say, you don't work hard, you think you become rich. This is something interesting to look into. You investigate and see. Some people, they work very hard, but they just cannot get. Because it's not inside their 8 consciousness. Because the Buddha said, our wealth comes from our dana. It's not from our hardworking nature. Your hardworking nature is part and parcel to cultivate your bodhisattva's attribute. That's all. You must know how karma works, you see. You do a lot of dana, you get your returns. But if you're very hardworking but you don't have your dana, you cannot get the money. So we must be wiser and understand how karma attract whatever we want. Okay? Cantonese we say, if it's good karma, it's definitely good karma. It will never turn back. But if it's the bad karma, it's already fated, you can never run away. Okay? So this one is how we actually handle fear. Because too many people are so afraid of so many things which actually hasn't happened. A lot of times we worry too much. We worry children cannot make money worry husband don't know whether love me forever worry the wife don't know whether did her work whether raise my children properly. Worry. So much of worry. Fear is very terrible, today. Just last 2 weeks, UK, they appointed a minister. Minister of Prevention of Suicide. UK. In UK, men below 45, last time number one killer was heart attack. Then after that, cancer. Today, number one killer commits suicide. Men 45 and below. And in America, suicide rate increased by 30%. Why you suicide? Because too scared. Thought everything is getting out of hand. Because we don't know how actually karma works. It has to come. It doesn't, don't have to worry so much. We thought we intervene, we control, things is within control. Actually, you know what's non-self? Non-self means things is not within our control. We have to accept as it is. When you know this, you don't feel so stressed out with it. Actually, karma has much deeper meaning than what we thought. Okay, you can go back and listen to this okay? And then after that, we address anger. We took 2 classes to address anger. We are very, very angry because what the world tells us is to promoting all the big ego. Promote. And when we don't get that big ego, we try to exert our anger in order the ego can still arise. Our ego in us very tricky. All the time we try to promote and protect our ego. All the time. Because we thought there is this ego there. Ego is not real. Today we are going to talk about this. But we thought, I have an ego, no? So I need to protect it, you see. So I need to be famous and successful to let people know that, I exist, And you know that we suffer because of that. That's why we address this issue under these 2 classes, whereby we talk about world values. If we follow the world, we follow the samsaric value, there goes all leading towards broken relationships, sickness, and depression. So this is the world view. Okay? So next, we go on to farewell guilt. We address guilt here. We talk about how we overdo and underdo things because we have very wrong view. We talk on the lateral thinking, middle way, market research. Okay, so that's where we address. And finally, we talk about adios sadness. We talk on the 3 rules of acceptance. Out of this fear, anger, guilt, and sadness 4 emotions. Every end of the class, I introduce the perception of breaking concept. Each and every class also I mention, because that is the ultimate way of solving all our suffering. Ultimate. I don't know how many people can grasp, but this is a real way of tolerating all our suffering in life, is to eradicate the concept that we hold on so hard in us. Okay, so today we are going into this chapter itself. Okay, and then last 2 classes, we talk about karmic debts and karmic creditors, whereby this is very rare in Theravada, but it is something undeniable in life. Okay, and finally today we talk about the Diamond Sutra, concepts and perceptions. Before I go into Diamond Sutra, the breaking of concepts are actually happening starting from class 3 until 10. But today we are going to emphasize on the whole thing. As summary, part 1 is primary school. You have to know your language. You have to know the foundation of knowledge. That's actually walking inward, right? If you don't walk inward, you see nowhere, right? Part 2, tolerance, is secondary. Not bad. We can use secondary classes to handle life. Okay, we start to contact with outside people, we handle life. That's why today's class is Form 6. Not bad. High school, Form 6 already here. Because we are Malaysian, I go Form 6. So we have Form 6 here. Okay. Next year, we go into university. Effort. Degree. That one is really practical. And then finally, another part, which is the part 4, is PhD. PhD, okay? When we talk about dream and everything is not real, sunyata, that one is PhD. So today we are in Form 6, introducing chapter for university level. So today you grasp the awareness of it first. Even though you have a lot of questions, but never mind, at least you know what it is first. Okay? So, views and concept. What is view and concept? What are concepts? Our ego, our I, cannot exist without concepts. And it was actually concepts that pull the I become very big. And the bigger the I, the more suffering we are. You see from yourself, isn't it? People around us, very hard-headed, very stubborn, very proud, ego very high. You see, they are very unhappy. Cannot even say sorry, cannot even admit my mistake, even though they put on a very bold front. Actually, people suffer inside. So, when the I is very big, usually the concept they hold is very hard and very thick. You cannot touch the ego. That one, big I, big ego. Then we cannot kill the I like that. If you want to kill the ego, kill the concept. Because the day you kill your I, but the concept is still very hard. Actually, no use one. The concept again feed the ego come back. Example, I'm very angry person, hot-tempered. I want to kill my temper because people around me suffer. I know I'm wrong. Okay, inside. So I want to kill this I, my ego. So what do? The usual method we do is that don't get angry. Suppress. Okay? Don't get angry. Don't get angry. Okay? Angry. Don't get angry. Cannot. After that, the anger comes back. The most I can let you 2 weeks. The most. Then it still come back because your concept still feed the I comes back. And then you have to be aware all the time. Because we kill the wrong thing, you kill the I. I cannot be killed. I is an effect again. You kill the concept. What is the concept? The concept of thinking wrong is no good. Right is good. I must be right. I must always be right. When we suppress the anger, means we are trying to kill the I. You have to kill the concept. What is the concept behind we are holding that make us very angry? Because they say I'm wrong. That's why I cannot accept mistake. I think mistake is very terrible. So this is the concept I hold. So whenever my children or whoever, my wife or my spouse saying that I'm wrong, I will get very angry. So you have to go back to one step earlier, which is actually the concept. The concept that we hold that I cannot be wrong. I cannot be disrespected, disregarded. I cannot be looked down upon. I cannot. This is the concept. Then we have to go back to that concept to break this concept. After which, your anger won't arise easily. Once you suppress your anger, it's not lasting because nothing is done. It was only temporary, momentary. So what we need to do is to go back to the concept. What concept that we hold that make us very angry all the time? Because I always want people to respect me. And then you must go back to this respect. What is this respect that actually control me all the time? What is this thing? I cannot accept people say that I'm no good. The moment when people start to say that I'm no good, I get angry. Then I will see, why can't I be wrong? What is this mistake? I thought mistake is very big, very terrible. And you're saying I'm terrible. I have this concept, mistake is very terrible. That's why I get angry very easily.
That means people say like this, we have to find out.
Yes, you have to step back and look, what is this thing? So when you check, actually basically it was all the hurt, all the insecurity and inferiority complex inside us. Then this hurt make us have a concept that we hold. I cannot be wrong. I cannot be low. I cannot be poor. I cannot be bad. This one, I hold it so hard that anybody touch this soft spot of mine, I will flare up. You see? So we have to go back.
You always think that you're right.
Because you cannot accept wrong. You see, you cannot accept wrong. And all this started off from what we experience in life. Right?
That one also concern of characters.
Exactly how we see
that,
things.
How that children, we saw them where is their wrong, but when we tell them, they don't admit. So we have to explain to them, but they still don't get it, because we tell them the earlier, where is your fault? Some like that one, how you?
Because the child already got this concept that I cannot be wrong. Why? Because when I was wrong, first day in school, I was beaten. So I cannot be wrong. All this very sneaky inside the concept, because our subconscious is picking it up very quickly. We start to have concepts, the worst is when we enter school. That's why school actually is a place whereby all the concepts start coming in. You see, young children are very happy one, right? Why? Don't have concept. When we start to have concept, we suffer. Okay? So that's why the interesting part is the concept. Okay? So, concept, what is concept? Say for example, this girl, her name is Audrey. She is my sister. See so many concepts come in already, Actually, seeing things as it is, she's only a 4 element and 5 aggregate. You know what is 4 elements? Earth, water, fire, wind. She's only a 4 element and 5 aggregate. Form, feeling, perception, mental object, and your consciousness. She's only that, Seeing things as it is, this is only a being, sentient being. In short, only a sentient being has 4 elements plus 5 aggregate. That's all. But I call her Audrey Kwok, and she's my sister. Audrey is already a concept. Sister, another layer of concept. Then it produces, it produces view. My sister, another concept. It produces view. Sister, I can bully her. I will always be forgiven if I make a mistake. Anything wrong with her, I will protect her. Because sister. You see all these concepts coming in already. But basically she is a sentient being. But we put in a lot of ajinomoto. Salt MSG put in then suddenly it becomes very emotional because of the concept protect I must take care I can bully her whatever I do all these things will start coming in. Sister easier to see, harder to see husband. Husband is only a sentient being or spouse. Because I'm a woman, I say husband. A spouse is only a sentient being. Okay? But we have so many concepts about our spouse. Number 1, he has to bring back money to raise the family. He has to love me forever, ever, ever. And he can only love me alone, and alone. He must be nice to my parents. Because he is a husband. He must be responsible to the children. Must behave himself like a father. A lot so many, okay? So all these are perceptions, concepts, and views. And that's why all the expectation comes up, arise. You have a lot of expectation because of the concept. But this guy is only sentient being. But we cannot. We have so many stories about this person. So this is concept. Okay. How concept comes by? Talk about myself The day when I was born, my father already told me my name is Carol. I stay in PJ. These are my parents. I go to the mirror, I see myself, this is me. Then the I form. So after that, I am how tall, how plump. So I go to school. School is the best place to plant concepts. So when I go to school, my teacher said, you must follow instruction. So we learn how to live inside the box. We cannot think outside the box. But today, the Buddha asks us to think outside the box. Okay, you're living inside the box. That's why we have so many concepts that we cannot let go. And then when I do my homework, there was a mistake, I gonna whack. So, okay, cannot make mistake. Teacher tell me I cannot make mistake in life. And when you make mistake means you are weak, you are no good. That's why I need to be punished. So I'm scared of mistake. That's why you know why your son like that? Because you go to school, everybody also have the same idea about mistakes. And people will laugh at us when we make mistakes. So we're very scared of mistakes since very young. That's why we cannot admit mistakes. We try to avoid, we're very scared, and when we make mistake, we cover or we push to other. Right? Some people said, if I don't make mistake, how do I learn? Isn't it true? It's like okay to make mistakes, you see, right? And as I grew older, I go to secondary school, I mix with my friends, and I realize I cannot be poor. When I'm poor, my friend look down on me. When I grow up, I go out and chase after girlfriend. Girl will like the guy drive BM. So I think must be rich. Correct or not? You start to have this kind of concept because of society. So I must be rich, cannot make mistake. And then after that, when I grew older, I realized that I must be a good person, or else nobody like me. So I try to be a good person. Try to be a good person. That's why we always try to look good in front of a lot of people. And then when we come to older, I saw everybody start to have family and children. So I have a concept that I must have a family. So I will go and get a man or get a spouse, get married and have children. Better one boy, one girl. With one big house and one big car. Better with a dog. Okay? And a father, mother-in-law sitting in a car while going out dinner, all smiling. You know advertisement? You saw advertisement? All these go inside. So we try to chase after all this. Because all these are concepts that we want to have a happy family. Perfect. Okay? And as I grew older, I realized I need to be presentable when I work. Okay? So I must be beautiful. I must look good lah. Look like even appearance. I must wear some branded, go to high class places. Then people will start to respect me. All these are concepts start coming in. And at the end of the day, you know what happened? How come I'm so tired? Correct? How come at the end of the day, when we grow older, how come I'm so tired? How come I'm not happy? How come I am so dry up? Because we didn't know it was all the concept that actually lead our life. I don't lead my life, The concept's leading my life. And I have to match my concepts. Okay? So you look at this, okay, you look at this. This is our ego. And our ego will manifest because of our concepts. All these are the concepts that we hold. I should, I shouldn't, I must have this kind of belonging, my views, my character, and all the perceptions. Okay? So when we want to kill the ego, you don't kill this guy. You kill all the concepts. You loosen is good enough. No need to kill all. You loosen your concept is very good already. So once the concept is broken, the I will naturally die off. Because the ego and the I is an effect of our concept. The concept feeds the I. The more concept we have, the bigger and the stronger the I becomes. And then like we have perceptions like this. High is superior. Being high and correct is superior. Wrong is lousy. Anger is power. Because sometimes we get angry, we got things done. Correct or not? So then we thought anger is good. Can get things done. So we thought anger is power. Right? And then not helping is cruel. So we have to help. help. I don't know why we help also. Okay? So after we help, we realize we helped the wrong guy. Control is progress. We want to progress. We thought when we control, we intervene, we make sure this, make sure that. That means we are progressing. So tired, And then rich is fearless. Once I become rich, I'm not fearful anymore. So we chase after the rich. And then finally, some will feel relax is lazy. We have this concept. You cannot relax. You must progress all the time because very scared. So all these are the perception in life that we absorb in. That's why we become very, very tired. And finally, we feel very trapped by life. Until end of the day, we feel very tired, feel very unhappy and very trapped. But have we ever asked why? We thought it was our children my husband my wife my boss my business We thought these are the causes one. Actually, they are not. They are mere phenomena around us only. It's just like I explained my sister. All these people are merely 4 elements and 5 aggregates. It's just that we put in a lot of concept and expectation on these people. That's why I suffer. Okay? So the Buddha asks us to look at the real reason why we are so unhappy. Okay? So, when we are out of our concept, we suffer. Because the concept rules us. So we are very, very afraid of things which is not within my concept. So once it's out of the concept, we try to force it back. So when we make mistake, we cannot admit. I give you some example When things out of concept are all these everyday thing, really everyday thing. So we suffer all the time. Okay, because it's just not what I wanted. Like for example, when I make mistake, I cannot admit. I feel very hard to pull my ego down to say that, sorry, I'm wrong. I try to avoid and I try to point at other places or maybe other people. Okay, so we deny. So I have a friend, she told me this incident. That's why we're so afraid of mistake. One day she was inside the car. The husband was driving, she was sitting beside. The husband was just driving and thinking and suddenly asked one question. Have you banked in the check? Wow, her reaction was, you think I'm very free? Every day I have to do this, no? Actually, her answer is she didn't know. Correct enough. She already said, you think I'm very free? Then the husband said, hey, I only asked you whether you banked in the check or not. That's all. You see, we are so afraid of mistake. We already defend before people say we are wrong, We jump 5 feet away. Even before we are accused of the mistake. Okay? So, when we said something wrong, you look at the way we talk, we always try to defend, we always try to cover up, or we always try to explain. Explain. I like that. Because like that, ma. You like that? No, I like that. All the like that go everywhere. Okay? Because you just cannot say, it was a mistake. I should learn from this. Cannot. Because very subconscious. Very, very subconscious. Because of this mistake, we try to point at other people. Small things like conversation, even big things like life. Some people, they are not successful in life. So not successful because you don't have the dana. So go and do the dana. It's not that you are weak. It's not that you are bad. It's not that you are low. No. Because dana, because we don't see the wisdom of it. What is what links to what. So I remember when I was very young, I met a man. Then we were talking about doing business. Then he said he was not successful because the father didn't send him to school. I mean, he only finished Form 3, no tertiary education. So I was not successful because I don't have enough of education. He said no. So blame it to the parents. So I said, oh, is it? Okay. 2 weeks later, I met with another man, also in his 40s. Then we were talking about doing some business again. Both of them also mediocre. Then this guy was saying, actually, I shouldn't have gone overseas to study. Because with my tertiary education, I become very scared, very risk calculating. So that's why I dare not take risks. That's why I'm not successful. My parents shouldn't send me overseas. How? This one say don't have overseas education. This one, overseas education kill me. So this is the way they see things. When it was a mistake, they start to blame outside. Actually, it's sunyata. It's depend on ourselves how we see things only. Okay, nothing wrong with parents, nothing wrong with tertiary education. It is how we see things, you see. Why we don't see things as it is, see things as sunyata? Because we're so afraid of mistake. So, many occasions, another one, we're very afraid of being poor. Very scared. So what we do? Because when we are poor, nobody respects us. Okay? And we feel very small, especially our children. How are they going to face their relative, face the family member? So I must be rich. That's why we suffer. Why? Because after this, we try so hard in life. We chase and chase to the extent our relationship all broken. I have no time to think of anything except money. I have no time to look at my children. I have no time to look at my spouse. I just want to move on. Right? And then many become sick. They've fallen sick. Some even big type of sick like cancer, or maybe many also entered into depression. Why? Because I'm so scared that when I'm poor, I'm low. I'm no good. Cannot accept being poor. Okay? So some even went into illegal means, go into criminal act, and get rich quick scheme. I have a friend, she's quite pretty, but she's not rich, So every day she takes the Uber. Then I say hey, go and buy a car Every day Uber, not cheap, Even though Uber is not expensive, but every day you go anywhere also Uber. You go and buy a Myvi, You know what she told me? Me, I drive Myvi, at least a Volkswagen, And she's not rich, If you ask her to drive Myvi, she rather take Uber. At least you got driver. You see? And then another friend also told me, she said she must at least stay in Bangsa and Agaman Sarahai. She said PJ is not for her. So her whole life thinking how to live in Bangsa. So how? Because of the concept. That's why I say this kind of concept sits in where you stay, which area, what car you drive, what shirt you wear. All these you're so scared, people looking. But one thing good, if you eradicate this concept, you don't see these things in others, and because of that, you don't care about what others look at you. Because your concept eradicated. I have a friend, she very care about, what she wear, all this. Every time I go out with her, she will, I say, why? You see the watch she wearing? You see the watch? You see what watch? What diamond? I say, diamond. I also don't know what is that. Don't know what Rolex don't know. They know, you see? But because we all, anything is okay with me. My one is redeemed from bonus link also, I don't mind. You don't see. They don't see because they will care about what people see them. Because they care about how they see others. So they will take a lot of effort to make sure how people see me. Because inside their concept, other people are looking at them. Because they are looking at others. When you don't look at others, you never think of others look at me. Correct. That's why I say, Then you realize that she always very nice watch. 30,000-40,000 watch, that like that. These are the concepts that make us very tired. Alright. For example, we are very worried of getting old as well. That's why we always try to maintain our youth. Concept old is no good, lowly. So we try to be youthful. We wear nicely. We listen to K-pop. Sounds young. Okay? We go plastic surgery. Okay, and we also scared of dying and sickness. So all these are no good. So we do a lot of things to prolong our life. And besides this, among many families, we have this concept, like my husband must make money for me. My wife take care of my children. So anything out of this concept, we quarrel. Because of the concept. Okay, we hold it so hard. Children, anything wrong, you look at the husband, sure point at the wife already. Correct, like or don't like, you lah. Family not enough money, you lah. Because of the concept, that's why we quarrel. Okay, but don't forget, our spouse is only a sentient being. 4 elements and 5 aggregates. We must always remember this, Like for example, our children. We also have a concept that I raise you up, you must be appreciative. You must be thankful. And I sacrifice for all of you. You all must know how to say thank you to me. Because I raise you up. So all these are very sneaky concepts. And because of this, when they are not filial. They leave us. We suffer. We feel very sad. That's why you keep hearing people saying, how come they don't appreciate? You think they don't know what is thankfulness, what is gratitude? They don't know how to appreciate one. Because we want them to appreciate. Because we have this concept. And also because when we go to school, teachers say, the harder you work, the better reward you get. Do you know in life many things are not like that? Because we match it wrongly. We match wealth with hard work and cable, who you know. Actually, it's dana. You get it? We match a health with exercise, organic. No, it's violence. Whether you are violent or not in your past or whatever. So all these we match wrongly, and also we are ignorant about how karma works. So you see, when we have this concept, we work very hard, we must get that kind of reward. This one kills us a lot. This is what I always share with my friend. When I love somebody, when I sacrifice everything for that person, there are 3 things I already win. When I don't think of whether they give me or not. Number 1, do you know that it is not easy when you are successful and well-to-do, there's somebody to share with you. The sharing of my happiness by others is already a very good merit. Something very precious. I'm very happy. I'm doing very well. I have a lot of money. I give to my children. I raise them up. I give to my parents. I give to my spouse. Actually, I'm very happy when I'm successful. So many people happy for me. And so many people share with me. This alone is very good reward. Rather, they feel happy for us. You get me not? So, getting people to share our joy is already a reward. I feel. Number 2, when I raise my children up, when I sacrifice for my family, at least I don't feel guilty. I don't feel guilty already very good for me. Or else how? I feel guilty, And number 3, if let's say I don't do it, what are the better things to do? Let's say if I earn so much money and I don't share with my family members, what do? You tell me. Unless you donate out. But when you donate out, these are the people who need your money. We donate to who first? Our family members first, right? So if you have a lot of money, you don't do this to help to raise the children, to sacrifice for them. Then what do? No other things to do.
Is this part of dana as well?
Yes, of course. Since they are so near me, why not I just give them? That's all. So there are these 3 great things I get by sacrificing and giving. Not waiting for them to appreciate me. When they don't, we suffer. So, coming to this platform Sutra, how do we address our concept? We learn what is concept. We also learn how concept hurt us, and when out of concept, we suffer. Okay, now, what is this concept? What did the Buddha talk about this concept? Before I talk about what the Buddha said, I want to tell you one story about this platform Sutra. You know, Hui Neng, Wei Neng, the 6th patriarch of Zen Buddhism. He's very famous. Actually, this story is very interesting story. The Zen Buddhism, they have to pass on the lineage from the first patriarch. First patriarch was Bodhidharma, Tatmo. the one, the Shaolin temple one. He is the first. Then after that, they have to pass on until the fifth. The fifth called Wang Yan, Hong Ren. Okay, so come to the fifth patriarch. He is supposed to pass it on to the sixth patriarch. Before he pass it down, he has to identify who is qualified. There is this man called San Sao, which is the highest disciple of the fifth patriarch. So the master asked them to come up with a stanza about what they know on Buddhism. So San Sao said this: 身是菩提樹，心如明鏡台. The body is like a Bodhi tree. Our mind is like a mirror on a pedestal. 時時勤拂拭，勿使惹塵埃. We must always rub and clean it so that it is free from dust. Okay, this is what he wrote, but he still doesn't understand the real Buddhism. Why? Because he thinks we are a body and our mind is a mirror. We must always clean it so that no dust is collected there. This is what he said, right? When the master saw his writing, the master said, very good. Everybody practice this so that you don't go down to three woeful states. Three woeful states only, It's not out of samsara. So when he actually put this up, everybody expecting this lineage is supposed to pass to him because he's a disciple. But the master saw. The master also knows he is not qualified. After that, one day later, there was this boy. His name is Hui Neng. That time, he was only a kitchen helper. He's very ugly. He's very short. He is illiterate. And he's only a kitchen helper, not even a monk. He came to the hall and he saw this. Because he cannot read, so he get somebody to read it for him. So while he was reading, he said, can I write? Can I share my view? This is what he shared. And this one become very famous until today. 菩提本無樹，明鏡亦非台，本來無一物，何處惹塵埃? Body is not a tree. The mirror is not a pedestal. Since there isn't anything originally, how could dust be collected anywhere? You heard of this? This is very famous under Zen. And this is the real spirit of concept breaking. Remember the balloon? This balloon? This is exactly what San Sao's disciple was talking. He said, the body is a tree. The mind is a mirror. We have to clean all the concept. Means what? We have to have all the concept of goodness. We must be a good person. We must be generous. We must be mindful. We must be all these are still concept. Even though they are good things, they are still concept. Because concept works in relative. When you have good, you will have bad. You have high, you have low, right? So the concept by the master's disciple was saying that you must have all the right, high, rich, good. You cannot be wrong, low, poor, bad. So you have to maintain to be a good person. But Master Hui-Neng was saying, no, the body is not a tree. The mirror is not a mirror. We actually originally, we don't have anything. How can any dust be collected? Actually, the concepts are all not real. That means what he said, concepts and views are not real. Actually, we are the one who created it and then start to collect dust. Okay? So because of this, the lineage was passed down to this kitchen helper. But after passed down to him, he really suffered. He has to run away because the other disciples cannot accept. A lot of people want to kill him to take back the lineage. Even that time, a lot of politics. So he ran and hid for 15 years. So after that, the master also told him, after your lineage, destroy it. Because when he has to pass to the seven will have to die also. So he have to stop at the sixth lineage. So today, he is the sixth patriarch, and his body is still there in China. And actually, the story very interesting, very touching as well. All these concepts and views are non-existent. They are not there. We create. Because my father say, my mother say, my teacher say, my friend say, the whole samsara says. And don't forget, you are in samsara. You are not in Buddha land. Don't listen to what the samsara says. That's why we suffer. But we are so scared to go against them. So scared. Hey, to go against the samsara, you need to be wrong. You need to be low. You need to be poor. You need to be bad. Is it okay with all of us? Hard because our concept's so hard. How to be low, how to be wrong. That's why you have to go in and break the concept. The going in to break the concept is the university level. Okay? But today we get a perception of this concept thing first. Because today is only Form 6. Right? Okay. And the Buddha said, Diamond Sutra, 凡一切相，皆是虛妄. All forms and concepts are mere delusions. In words of the Buddha, this is not the Petra, this is the Buddha. Okay? 若見諸相非相，即見如來. If we can see all forms as non-forms, all concepts as non-concepts, we then truly understand the ultimate truth of suchness. This is a very, very famous phrase in Diamond Sutra. When you mention this one, nobody will deny. Alright? So, in fact, today's class, we talk about all the important phrases extracted from the Diamond Sutra. Diamond Sutra is known for the sutra to break concept. That's why it's called diamond. Diamond is a diamond cutter. Cut all our hardcore concept. So, he said, all the things that you see, you can touch, you can smell, you can listen to, you can feel, all these are delusions. That means the people, things that happen, event, all the things that you can touch, all these are delusions. They are all illusory. Okay? For example, number 1, our husband, our children, our parents, they are all not real, you know. They are all not real. They are merely sentient beings. That's why, if you can see your husband as not husband, your children as not children, you are actually understanding the ultimate truth of suchness. Such, this person, that's all, is a sentient being, that's all. But because of our expectation, we kill ourselves. We actually trap ourselves. Correct, trap ourselves. Alright, so our children, our husband, our spouse, our parents, our siblings, they are all unreal. Okay? And then number 2, anything that happened around us. Oh, that day I quarreled with my husband because of this. I quarreled with my boss over this issue. I quarreled with my staff. All this quarreling, all this disagreement, all this happening, or somebody strike lottery, or somebody getting married. All these are unreal. Including anything happen, sure subject to dispute. Either wrong or right, high or low. This one, wrong or right, inferior people a lot. High or low, insecure people a lot. Usually, I emphasize on this. High, low, right, and wrong. Are we all the time we are in all this? They are all disparity of concept only. Disparity of our views. Number 3, things. Table, chair, our property, car, house. All these are not real. Because all forms are mere delusions. If you are questioning on this, you can go back to scientific research. The science, they have actually proven from All things started off from molecule. Of course, the table, you go down, exchanging molecule, then go down to atom, then go down to proton. I think we studied that before. Proton, then finally neutron, and the latest confirmed is quark. From quark, they can observe. Observe, that means they can actually deduce from quark to neutrino. Then from there, it becomes virtual particles. And finally, virtual quantum field. That means only field, moving field. No, nothing one. Okay, so the science has already proven all these things are not real. Okay, not proven, they observe because now they are at quark. Because from atom until quark is like smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller, and then finally from quark they still cannot see, but they can know, deduce from the formula, the calculation is actually quantum field only. Okay, that's why it comes back to the string theory. Under string theory, they are actually proving this one. Once they've proven this one, I tell you very far we can go. You know why? Because it involves 11 dimensions. Now we only have 4 dimensions. So if we proven string theory, it will lead us to 11 dimensions. That time, the scientists will have to acknowledge ghosts, deva, all this will come in already. Because different dimensions. But in order to prove this, you need that kind of dimensions to explain. Okay, that one we go into scientific comparison at the PhD level. Okay, and the worst thing is very hard for us to accept even what is unreal, no? Time and space. This one proven by Einstein. Proven, not observation, proven by Einstein. Time and space is not real. Time is not linear. You can go back. It is still there one. Plus what, all the direction, shape, all these are not real. So if you can see all this as unreal, immediately you see Rulai, the Tathagata. Okay? So, how do we break concept? The Buddha said, views and concepts are unreal. Okay? Concept breaking. That's why you know why this Huineng became the patriarch after that. Because he has no knowledge. He had never go to a school before. He had never heard of the Diamond Sutra before. But he can write 4 stanzas like that. That means this guy must have brought from previous life.
From the 8th consciousness.
Yeah, he knows. It's not like that one. And he is illiterate. Actually, the coming of this Huineng Patriarch is to tell us, wisdom has nothing to do with knowledge or degree or whatever you study, nothing. Because this guy is illiterate. This is wisdom. Okay, especially Panya wisdom. Panya wisdom was, if you are highly educated, even harder to accept. Because your concept very deep. Concept you hold very hard. Concept breaking, this part is maybe difficult for we all to grasp because now we are Form 6 only, okay? Don't worry, but at least we get to know what is it. Alright, remember this is what I always talk about in the past classes, okay? 最有心起將心查 repentance. Bad karma, including that means our sin, arises from our mind, our concept. Therefore, we have to contemplate and repent, contemplate and repent on our views and concepts. I give you one example, easier to understand. For example, I steal and I cheat because I want to be rich. Common out there, People steal, people cheat, people bribe, to be rich, right? So, the bad karma arises, next time I will sure be poor one. Correct or not? Because I cheat now. So I take away public's money or take away my friend's money. So I become what? I become poor in next time on, because of the karma, right? Arises from the mind. Because my mind, I got a view, I cannot be poor. You don't contemplate on the bad karma. You contemplate on the view. You contemplate on why did I steal? Why did I cheat? Actually, I was holding a concept, I cannot be poor. I want to be rich. I want to have recognition. This is the concept that I've been holding behind. You get me, no? So you have to contemplate on the views and the concept. Just like the anger one. You want to eradicate your anger. It's not that don't get angry. You must go and see why we get angry. We get angry because we want respect. And we want people to think that I'm good. So we thought respect and good and recognition are very important. This is the one that kills us. It goes the same with this stealing. I steal and I cheat because I thought money is very important to maintain my status. So go back and see, stealing and cheating, why? Because I thought being very rich, I become happy. You thought like that. That's why we contemplate on the views and the concept, not the bad karma or the sin that we do. Right? Next, if our views and concepts are eliminated, our bad karma shall vanish. For example, here I cheat and I steal. If I break the concept of having a lot of money, a lot of wealth, is not important anymore. I don't mind. Okay, if I can break, because earlier on I cheat and I steal because I want to be rich, and now I break the concept that rich is not important anymore, or having high status with recognition is not important anymore. So that means my view and concept eliminated. Even my bad karma will vanish, Why? Because that eradicated, being rich is no longer important. Do you think I still cheat and lie? I don't mind really. Because I already eradicated this concept of must be high, must have position, must be rich. I don't have this concept anymore. That's why when I'm poor, I'm okay. Okay, so this one bad karma shall vanish. Alright, when both views and concepts and bad karma are eliminated, they become empty. When the views and concept that being rich is very important, okay, and the bad karma are eliminated, and this bad karma that I will be poor, these two views and concept and bad karma and all the sin, they are all not real one. Oh, these are very hard to explain. They are all empty. Empty means what? Rich, famous, high status is not real because they are empty. It goes the same with poor, lowly, and weak. They are not real as well. But we are so scared of it because of our concept only. That's how we see things only. Right? So because of this view, once eliminated, why it can be eliminated? This third phrase is telling us concept breaking is very, very doable. Very, very doable in the sense that we can eradicate all these concepts and view if we want to. Because they are all empty. Everything is built on this emptiness only. And finally, this is the ultimate meaning of repentance. When you do concept breaking, you don't have to do anything already. I mean, all the ritual, all the chanting, all the repentance, you don't have to do already because concept breaking, everything is there. In fact, it is the ultimate way. And in fact, this is what the Buddha said. Concept breaking, the power is very strong. Okay, imagine why is it ultimate repentance? When I don't mind being poor, don't mind being lowly, do you think I still cheat and lie? I don't, isn't it? So, when I cheat and I lie and I steal, I don't contemplate on, I don't cheat, I don't lie. But behind my view, I still want to be rich. You think you will do it again next time? When condition permits. If you still have the concept. I will, right? Now I don't do it because my husband don't allow me to do it. Next time I marry another husband, say can, I will do it. Because behind my view, I still think money is very important. High is very important. Rich is very important. I still think like that. So when condition allows, I will do it. So imagine the real repentance is what? When I don't even care that I'm poor, I'm fine. You think I will do it? Not peaceful one. When you steal and when we cheat, you want to do it, you won't do it because you don't want the money also. That's why this is the ultimate repentance. Huh? And you understand? Huh? So until here, you understand. A bit deep, a bit complicated, but that is the real thing the Buddha said. This thing, you do one thing, wow, implication a lot. You start to eradicate all your bad karma, and whatever come to you, you're not scared anymore. And in future, you will not do anymore. Oh, so good, So, but very deep, but this is what the Buddha said. That's why as what I said, the Buddha don't come here to tell us the law of samsara. Law of samsara is light, non-self, impermanence, karma, rebirth, the primary thing, all these are the law of samsara. The law of samsara, you don't need a Buddha to tell us. No need. Eventually, any bodhisattva can tell us, any deva can tell us, or even some experienced people like Lao Tzu, Kong Tzu, they can tell us. Because law of samsara, you can see what. After you see for a long time, you realize there's impermanence, there's non-self, there's karma, and for a deva, they have a longer life, they see rebirth. That one is not difficult. Even with a psychic person, you can see. All these can be seen in samsara. You don't need a Buddha to come here. Okay? But why did the Buddha come then? The Buddha come to tell us something don't exist in the samsara. That is out of samsara. And that's why he comes. And why he chose our human realm? Because they know we can. That's why they come. Do you know that there are 1 billion human realm in samsara? 1 billion human realm. Because our human realm is only one world system. Not all human realm, the Buddha will go. The Buddha will choose and pick the human realm that the quality of the human there can understand. Faham? That means when we go and... You are right! We are very blessed because we know. The Buddha know that you know. Because inside Lotus Sutra, there was this deva wanted the Buddha to come so much into his land. I forgot what the name of his land. They actually prepared the Xijizhou, the place for the Buddha to enlighten, He waited don't know how many aeons, the Buddha also didn't come. After a long time, finally one Buddha came. It was not Gautama, another Buddha. When he came, he said, why he didn't come, Because the timing not right. The people cannot understand. You imagine, can a Buddha get enlightened in hell? No audience. You talk also, they also don't know what you're talking. Why you go and enlighten there? That's why when the Buddha come here, with the Buddha Dharma, we are very blessed people, Seriously, I can tell you this from the bottom of my heart. Okay, you don't talk about people here. You try to talk about today's class outside. You try to talk. Then after that they start to say, air ticket very cheap, you can go fly. They will lead you back to this, where to eat char kway teow, nice. You go to hell realm and the ghost realm, they talk like that. So the Buddha say, no audience, before I go and enlighten there. Correct or not? That's why we have to applaud ourselves, We are the one who keep the Dharma rolling. We don't have us, the Dharma dies. Not the Buddha, they all die. The Dharma will die by itself because no audience. The audience is very important. And when we keep rolling the Dharma, the audience is here. You know what? The good human being were born here. But now a bit bad. But eventually they say it will be a cleansing. Then after that, this place will be very perfect. Because all the Dharma is still around. Do you know 1 billion world system? Not all world system has Dharma, has the right people, and the Buddha they visit. No. Because this is one Buddha land. You know how many Buddha land? Our Buddha land called Samsara. governed by Gautama Buddha. Okay, this one is Mahayana, very Mahayana. Okay, so this is a Buddha land. Within a Buddha land, there is 1 billion, not million, billion, 1 billion human realm. Okay, not us only, 1 billion. And this is one Buddha land. You know how many Buddha land are there? All the Buddha land add up is equivalent to the sand in the Ganges River. This is called Buddha land. How many Buddha land? And one Buddha land alone, how many planets, how many world systems? Very, very huge. That's why a lot of Buddha and a lot of big bodhisattvas and all the bodhisattvas, it's just that they don't come everywhere. They only look at situation when time ripen, they will come. That's why, in fact, above us are a lot of bodhisattvas, a lot of devas. And in fact, when we are talking here, they are there.
Yes.
Plus our karma creditor. Our karma creditor also here. Okay? This is really very Mahayana. Alright? So that's why it's very blessed. The Dharma is still around. Okay? So finally, you get the perception of it first. Okay? Once you are like that, you see the Tathagata means you see suchness. A person who sees suchness, it's not hard to identify. For example, I always take my mother as the example. She sees suchness. I told you my father is a horrible husband. He never bring back money. He's an alcoholic, child abuser, gambler. But my mother is very fierce and very capable. She shoulder the whole family. The husband always come back because gambler take money So she fought with my father. But because her concept is so clean, after my father passed away, and then in her 70s when she became very free at time, we started to sit down and talk to her. She's now 86, okay? So we say, you're very terrible, your husband like that. You next time you still want this type of husband. He say, okay. I thought get married is like that one. Raise children is like that one. To them, is sentient being. Any problem, just solve it. Any problem, just solve it. She never grown and harp on whatever happened. She never. Anger is to address my father when he steal money. Because you need to. Bodhisattva is like that. Bodhisattva not all the time nice, not like that one. They're very powerful. That's why you need Bodhisattva virtue. Because there are so many things you have to address here. Because we don't go to monastery, You meet with all the nasty people around, but you stay around. This is the virtue of the Bodhisattva. You need power one. Because of her this, she is okay with her life when another person judge her terrible life. This lady gone through terrible life. That's why my elder sister, she is very insecure. She was the one who is much more affected compared to my mother. Just saw the father like that. So she is very affected. See, same father, same husband. In fact, husband worse. Because you have to deal with husband, you have to raise 6 children, you have to buy house, you have to buy this. I think she is worse. My sister is only a daughter. But she is much hurt compared to my mother. My mother, nothing wrong. She's when lady, she had this menopause, she actually told my father, never mind, you stay at home, you jaga shop, I go. And she drove all the way there. After cycling, so the nurse say, your husband come and fetch you? He said, yeah. Then after that, she go to the car park, she drove back.
So strong.
She never mentioned, my husband also never send me. My husband, you are so selfish. No, she won't want the husband to follow because she can handle. And the best part is, all this thing happened when she was in her 50s. And we only know about this when she's in her 70s, when she tell back the story. That means to her it's not a story. She tell it back only 20 years later when we ask. Because to her, is it something like? You get me, Because she don't have expectation, don't have concept, Of course, you can't steal my money, I have to stop you lah. Because you gamble, right? So that's why breaking concept will eliminate our suffering a lot. You don't mind coming back, no problem one. Because to you, it's a game. It's a game place. Because here is for you to train our bodhisattva's virtue and also to break concept only. So that you wake up from this samsara. With this ultimate awakening, you can go anywhere you like, even hell. You can even break the concept of hell. That's why I will tell you one story, how the Buddha break concept under the story of King Kalinga. You all heard of? Okay, I'll tell you later. So many things to tell. Okay, usually after we break concept, we will fall into emptiness. For example, you say, wrong low poor bad. If that's the case, no need to work. No need to work, poor, lazy. Like that, fall into emptiness. You drop into emptiness, which is actually a sign, a symbol of people too insecure or too inferior. You will fall into emptiness. When asked to break concept, we break concept. Alright? But we have to come back to middle way. For example, this is my husband. I catch my husband tight. I grasp. Your husband, you must be like this. This is here. Putujana. Human. Once we break concept, this is not my husband. This is only a sentient being. Then I break all my grasping. Because I understand he is only a sentient being of 4 elements and 5 aggregates. He also has his own predicament. Then after that, I come back middle way. I come back here. Because he is still my husband. I go to dinner, I don't introduce him as sentient being. Right? I will introduce him as this my husband. Okay? Because you still live life. You understand now? This is middle way. You don't say, this is a sentient being. You get me now? This part is to break concept only. Okay? Break the concept so that we don't grasp some. Right? Got some more. So this is very grasping. This is not grasping anymore. However, we come back to life. This one we go in depth. Now you get a concept first. Because the back in life middle way, this one very, very deep. It is my husband. It is not my husband. But it is called my husband. Yeah. Susah. No, never mind. You grasp the concept first. Okay? The whole Diamond Sutra talk about this. Si Jik Fei Si Ming. Okay? Si Jik Fei Si Ming. You know, when you start read the Diamond Sutra, you know this. Okay? So this one you grasp the concept first. You have to still come back to live life. You cannot drop into emptiness. Okay? Next. Diamond Sutra. The Buddha said, 应无所住而生其性, 应无所举而生其相. This one is the phrase that this Huineng, remember Huineng? The Petra, he was actually selling the woodlock to somebody. Along the passage going out, this guy was chanting Diamond Sutra. When he heard this phrase, it was like lightning strike. He was like, calling, because of this phrase. Okay? Carry out our life without living in our past. Without all these concepts that we hold. That should be the attitude. Okay? So, next. 於一切法應如是知，如是見，如是信解，不生法相。See all phenomena as they are. Do not smear with any concepts. And finally, Subhuti. Diamond Sutra is a conversation between the Buddha and Subhuti. Subhuti, all concepts are not what they are, but we have to know that they are mere concepts. You get me now? So that you come back to life, so to live our life on. Okay? So these are the phrases by the Diamond Sutra. Okay, next. Okay, with this concept breaking, we have to come back to life. Okay, how do we live life? When we make a mistake, with the concept breaking and seeing things as it is, a mistake is merely something we did wrong. That's all. Doesn't mean that we are weaker, we are lower, we are bad, we are lousy. Okay, make sure we got this right. Mistake lah. Doesn't mean that it's not a mistake. It's not a mistake, because Diamond Sutra says mistake is only a concept. It is a mistake, but it's something wrong, but nothing more than that. Not that you are bad, lousy. Mistake lah. That's why because this concept broken about this fear towards mistake, I can admit my mistake. I can say sorry. And I can forgive. Why? Because the moment I hold the mistake so big, I cannot forgive myself. I cannot forgive another person who made mistake. That's why people, because of this type of thing, can carry with them a whole life until the day that they die. Correct or not? Because you see mistakes so big, and others' mistake you cannot forgo. You cannot let go. My mother did this to me, my father did this to me. Wow, mistake lah. Because they are also victims. This one you go back to this one. And when something low, when something is lowly, doesn't mean that it is bad. Okay, it is just not high. That's all. My friend looked down on me because I wear this kind of watch. Fine with me, because they have this concept. I don't carry I don't want to play this game with you like that because I know we suffer. See, so okay lah. You see, it's not that when you are lowly, you are bad, you are lousy, you got flaws in your character. No, it's not that. Okay? When somebody is right, correct, doesn't mean that he's more powerful or higher status. And when somebody is very rich, doesn't mean that he is stronger or higher, or I have to follow what he said. Rich lah. The person has more money in it, that's all. Poor, poor is poor. Doesn't mean that this person is lower or weak, If we have a lot of views, we start to fall into the trap of very scared to be poor and low. That's why we chase after all the high and rich until we lost all our way. Okay? Like for example, if we talk about family members are just people closer than me only. Closer than others. That's all. Not family members, I have to defend them, I have to help, I have to give everything until I lost myself, So all these are concepts. Okay? And so is enemy. Enemy are only a bunch of people who are more unfriendly only. Not that they are bad, they sure want to kill you, they, all these terrible description about them is to fear us, then we dare not walk nearer. In fact, all enemy, we should go nearer and look at them. Because that's the best place to break a concept. Actually, enemy are nothing. They are worse than us in terms of suffering. You get me now? When you think he is an enemy, and he thinks that you are enemy, both of you sama suffering. But when he thinks I'm an enemy, but I don't think he's enemy, actually I don't suffer anymore. And when I go nearer, I realize that actually I have more compassion for him. Correct, right? It's because of the concept hold us back only. Okay? So if we want to win on how to break concept. Rather than have high lah, all the right lah, rich lah, good lah. This one make us go crazy. Okay? How to kill the concept. And the concept can be killed to a great extent until like the Buddha. You know what happened to the Buddha under this story, the King Kalinga? King Kalinga story is very famous. This story happened during the Buddha was a bodhisattva learning tolerance only. He used 500 of lifetime to learn tolerance, and this is one of which is the highest of all. Okay. During this life, the Buddha was a monk, meditating monk. So one day he was meditating in a cave. There comes a group of a king with all the lady attendant. So came and enjoy, have fun, near the garden there. So he was meditating inside the cave, right? So while they're playing, the king got very tired, so he fell asleep. So then the lady attendant don't know what to do because the king slept already, so they were walking. Then they saw the Buddha. So he came and see the Buddha. That time not Buddha yet, no, only a bodhisattva. So he saw the bodhisattva. Then he looked and then he asked the bodhisattva, what are you doing here? So the bodhisattva start to tell Dharma talk to the group of lady attendant. Then after that, the king woke up. When the king woke up, and then he looked for the lady attendant. Where are these people? Then he saw all these girls talking to the monk. Wow, very jealous. very angry. So he came, he asked this monk, what are you doing here? Then the monk said, I'm learning tolerance. Tolerance, you think you can tolerate? So he took out his knife, cut his ears. Both his ears, So then the monk said, I'm really learning tolerance, that's all. I have no other intention. You say your tolerance are so good, okay, then cut further the hand and the leg and the nose. Cut, dismember his whole body. After he did that, the whole sky, suddenly all the thunderstorm. You know why? Because all the bodhisattvas and all the deva are very angry. Because you are ill-treating a real practitioner who are actually striving. So the king was so scared, So then this monk, actually the Buddha, told the king, he said, what you did to me, I have no anger at all. No anger at all. Not even a bit at all. By the power of my honesty to tell you this, my whole body resurrect. Wow, then really resurrect. Famous story, this one. So he resurrected, because of his honesty, the dismembered part came back. So the king's very scared. So the Buddha told the king, I want to thank you for this. Because of you, I learned tolerance to the maximum. And I vow, the day I become a Buddha, I will save you the first. And during the Buddha's enlightenment, remember there was 5 ascetics. One of them is Kondana. He was Kondana. So he was the one who actually did this. And why the Buddha thanked him so much? If without this chapter, the one who became Buddha now is Maitreya. But because of this chapter, he actually rise, He rise from first earth store to the 9th earth store because of this incident. So that's why he thanked him. This story was spoken in Diamond Sutra as well. It's actually to reflect, if you can break concept, you can go to that extent, when you are being bullied, when you are being dismembered, when you are being threatened with death, you are okay. No fear, no anger, no nothing, no sadness. This is outright bully, Correct or not? This is outright dismembering. And then now worse is what? Pain. You don't even have pain, You can break concept because pain is the mental state. For your information, pain is not physical, it's mental state. When you meditate, you will know as well. So that's why imagine the power of concept breaking. Because now we are Form 6, we are not PhD. So that's why I let you know, if you can break concept, even the highest level of bully, highest level of pain, highest level of threat of death, it doesn't actually touch us. If we can break all the concept to the core. Correct? So this one is mentioned in the Diamond Sutra. Right? So that's why this one is to tell us how powerful the concept breaking is. Okay? And finally, the Buddha said this in the Diamond Sutra. 一切有為法，皆是夢幻泡影，如露亦如電，應作如是觀。All that we achieve or perform are mere dreams and bubbles. They appear and disappear like lightning. We should view all phenomena in such a manner. Okay? So means what? What is all that we achieve? All that we achieve or we perform, we do are things that we thought we are great. Like for example, I'm right, I'm better. All these are the things that we achieve. We thought we are better, right? We are higher, we are richer, we are more successful. We have a lot of achievements, a lot of contribution to the country, to my children, to the world, to humanity. All these are achievements. We thought we are very great because we raise a family, we sacrifice for them. Because of sentient being, I do a lot of charity, I do a lot of goodness. I'm very noble, I'm very sacrificing. I suffer because I sacrifice for all of you. I'm very noble and very kind. So these are things that we achieve, we thought we are better. But the Buddha said, sorry, all these are merely bubbles and dreams. Because you will be forgotten very, very fast. They are just some happening, just phenomena. This is a story I used to mention also. There was this man who was very, very noble. He actually saved don't know what the nation in China. His name was Zhang Xueliang. Okay. So today when the children all study history, they talk about this man. So the teacher asked, so who is this person who actually saved the nation during that time? What is his name? So the children said, Zhang Yao. People forget you after many years down the road. It's just like us we think we're very great, wow, my son, my children must love me. After that when your grandchildren, grandson, they all forget us one. Or your great, how many of us still remember our grandparents? Our great-grandparents? Wow, very great. They all think very great that time. They really raised the children. But how many of us remember them? They are all gone. They are merely bubbles and dreams. Okay? So because of this, we don't have to hold on to all the concepts. We thought that we do a lot of things for a lot of people. That's why I always say, when we sacrifice for others, I always like to think like that. I already win the game because I'm enjoying my sacrifice now. People share with me, they're happy. I enjoy it already. So I win already. I don't have to wait until at the end you reward me, I sure die one because I keep waiting. You have to wait for them to be filial to you, nice to you. And when they don't do, hurt. Because whole life waiting. So if we don't wait, we just enjoy what we do today. If I don't do it, I don't have other things to do. And I do it already, I don't have guilt. I'm already happy. That's it. When come end of my life, if they are nice to me, bonus. If they are not nice to me, never mind, I enjoy already. Correct or not? Correct. This kind of attitude, very positive. And funnily, because of this, your children like you. Because you don't wait. You don't look at them. You don't expect. How you feel when people have a lot of expectation on us? Stress, right? Don't Okay, we also suffer. Final when we can break all our concept, funnily, you can get the best of both worlds into one. Alright? This type of people can exist one. For example, this person can be very poor and lowly, but very happy. Usually we think poor and lowly sure not happy one. No. When you break the concept, he can be poor, lowly, happy, and easygoing. Okay? This person can be very aggressive, hardworking, and yet no anger. You get me not? That means aggressive work, wow, very fast, a lot of initiative, do a lot of work, but no anger one. Usually these are people very angry one, isn't it? Very scared to deal with them, right? But no anger. You can have this because you broke the concept. This person can be very wild, very creative. Wild, creative, and very open, but very disciplined. Very disciplined. Why cannot? They have a lot of self-guarding, and yet they are very creative. You can have the best of both worlds into one. This person can be very generous, very easygoing, very happy, and yet he know how to say no to you. A lot of times these are people don't know how to say no. Okay? He is not easily taken for granted. And yet very generous and open. Alright? And these people can be very rich, very high profile, good ranking, and yet very simple and ordinary. They like to be simple and ordinary, not being noticed. But they are very rich and highly regarded. This person can be very fast, okay, very swift, and yet not hasty. Very calm, yes. Very fast, very swift, but very calm. Why not? Can what? You can do something very fast, very swift, but very calm. This person can be very sociable and yet like to be alone. That means if you want me to social, I can social. But when I'm alone, I'm also very happy. Some people social really cannot stay alone. Correct? Yeah. And many people stay alone, don't like to go out on. Every day YouTube, sit there, play computer. Go outside, I don't want. So when you break the concept, it can be two. Anything come forth. Okay? Some people can be very smart, very knowledgeable, and yet are very humble. So all the best of both worlds can come into that person because no more concept. The one we can test is that you try, you go back and do things very fast, very quick, and then very calm. This is a combination which actually a lot of people cannot handle. Usually you're very cut one when you're very fast. But when you're very swift, very fast, and yet you are very calm, you do things much better. You are even more faster than a person who is very cut. All this can happen at the same time. So this is the power of breaking concept. Next year when we come back, we will tell you how to really go inside the way to break concept. Which is actually there's another skill called Agni 3 and 5. Agni 3 and 5 is another bodhisattva skills that require us to go back into the area that we fear most, that we held too tightly. You go back in. Where you fall, you have to rise from that same place. You go back there. That's why it requires a lot of courage, a lot of bodhisattva's virtue, a lot of strength, inner strength. Because you have to walk yourself back into the place that you're most sensitive. Yes, and there is where you break concept. That's why everybody will have to practice yourself. Because the one that hurt me the most not what hurt Margaret the most. Okay, maybe Margaret very sensitive with money. I'm very sensitive with face or beauty. Some people very poor, never mind what, but make sure must be pretty. Some people are not pretty, never mind, make sure I got money. Correct now? So different people got different soft spot. That one you have to know yourself very well. Go back to this one, you must know yourself. So that's why 5 PAT very complete in that sense lah. But now we are finishing this second one. We're going into the orange this next year. That one is university. Okay, finally there only we go to PhD. Okay, Okay, thank you very much.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.